All right. Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing today? Hopefully, you're having a wonderful day. I'm just letting other people get into the room before we get started today. Hi. Hi. How are you? Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Hi. Today, I'm actually streaming from YouTube to Instagram. So I'm just getting everything set up before we get started. Since I tend to get so invested and involved in what I'm talking about, one of the things is I want you to do today is make sure you like, comment, subscribe, especially YouTube. If you're watching me from YouTube, please take the time to subscribe to the channel so that we can grow. Hello, hello, hello. Hi. I brought two notebooks today to take down notes from your wonderful work of your sister. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, ladies, so much. Hello, Pedal Wives. Thank you for being in the building. I appreciate you so much. All right, so let's talk about it. First of all, you all know how I am. I am not a woman who gets online and just says stuff out the side of her neck. I don't just let my gums continue to flap without having something to back it up. Let's talk about the fact that gold diggers are the original feminists. Let's talk about the fact that the women of the past had a mentality of being a gold digger. We need to stop thinking of a gold digger as a woman who is sitting here rubbing her hands together, her grubby little hands together, waiting on him to die to collect his resources. And we need to start thinking of the gold diggers of the past. The gold diggers of the past, they're the women that originally pushed these agendas for women's rights. They're the women that originally pushed the agenda for women to earn more money or be able to get different jobs in the marketplace. These are the women that we're now vilifying. These are the women now that we're saying it's a horrible thing to be a gold digger. And you know what happened? See, you know me, I'm your history buff. So I love information. And everything I'm stating is facts. The original feminists, the ones that are around here now that are shouting down traditional marriages, telling you shouldn't get married to a man, you shouldn't depend on a man, you shouldn't make your money off the back of a man, telling you all of these things. I wonder, do they know or are they aware that the gold diggers of the past are the original feminists, but they didn't mean for it to get out of control in the manner that it did. And see, what happened was in 1930s when they realized that it was actually doing too much and it was causing issues with families and women, they started they started taking it to Hollywood and they started making different videos in the 1930s to actually vilify the gold digger. So in those movies, they made the gold digger to be the con artist, the grifter, the person who's going to take advantage of a man. And they went from promoting gold diggery to vilifying gold diggery. And now here we are today. I will always say that we need to stop looking at gold diggers in the manner that we look at them. And the only reason we do is because media and the social media has actually vilified them. And it was a whole campaign. There's literally a book that talks about gold diggers and the icons. There's a book that actually states this. Like I said before, this real. So I'm a history buff. I love all things history. I love to find out where stuff started from and why we have this particular mindset, why we vilify gold diggers, why we try to make women feel bad when they want support and resources. So I had to go and do my digging. And then it blew my mind when I figured out and realized that the original feminists were gold diggers. Because see, gold diggers had time. They had time to have charities. They had time to push agendas. They had time to push the women's movement and empowerment forward. If it wasn't for your nearest gold digger, a feminist would not be here. And that's on facts. And you know how I always drop my information at the end of the video. So you have what I have. So you know what I know. But women should always operate with that mentality. Women should always operate with that gold digger mentality. They should always operate with the mentality that aligns with evolutionary psychology, where a woman is actually actively dating, mating, and marrying a man who's going to give her resources and support when she's pregnant and when she has other, when she's having a family. She's taking care of a family. So women should have that mentality. And just because currently we have women who vilify it, who make you feel bad if you want to have resources, you won't have support. We have women that literally make you feel bad if you want to have children within the a wedding, within not wedding, wedlock. If you want to be married before you have children, we have women who try to make you feel bad for that. They try to vilify you for that. They tell you you're wrong for wanting that, and you can have babies in wedlock or outside of wedlock. And this is how I know we've gone too far. The gold diggers of the past should have actually has said something, done something. And I think the movement currently now where women are trying to band together, this is where all of these different people are coming up to start saying things about this, like feminines and feminine women and all these different types of movement, hypergamy. All of these women are all trying to, basically push back against this whole narrative of gold diggery. Women should have the mentality of being a gold digger. We can no longer allow the image that was created for us long ago to stop us from getting with a man that's able to support and provide resources for our children. Women should be gold diggers because when it comes down to gold digging, I like to say gold diggery or gold diggers. When it comes down to gold diggery, there's rules, there's structures, and there's standards. This means there's no longer dating little JoJo that's on the corner. There's no longer dating men who have no resources, support, or they don't have anything to offer a woman. So with being a gold digger, there's standards. And also, when there's standards, this makes gold diggers better wives. Why? Because when it comes down to it, when you're dealing with a gold digger is inaccessible to every man. She's only accessible to some. And since she's inaccessible to most men, she is inaccessible to those men. And what I mean by that, if you don't have certain things, that gold digger is not going to pay you any mind. She's not going to be concerned about you. And like I said before, when I talk about men who have resources, it's not just the money. It's not just the support. It's the man with the abundance mindset, the go-getter, the man who is able to make something from nothing, who makes something happen. That is the type of man that a gold digger wants to be near. Every woman should have a gold digger mentality because gold diggers mostly thrive in traditional relationships. So we don't have a problem with gender roles. We don't have a problem with a man being a leader of the family. We don't have a problem with a man stepping up and making decisions. We don't have a problem with being in the role of a woman. We don't have that problem. So gold diggers, women should have a mentality of gold diggers. And we should actually stop associating with the gold diggers that we see on television or the gold diggers that we've heard about from a friend, from another friend. We should actually look at gold diggers as a new movement, a new type. There's a new prototype out there of gold diggers. These women are not just looking for those resources and support. They're literally looking for men who not only can support and have resources, but these men have values. They have morals. They have rules. They have standards. So these new type of gold diggers aren't just women who are just yelling it from the nearest mountaintop or letting everyone know, I'm a gold digger. This is what I require. They're actually looking and very picky about their choices. And like I said, this makes them inaccessible to most men. And to men who have an understanding of gold diggery and gold digger women, these men that actually date them, make them, and marry them, they love that because they know that you can't just come by and scoop up my wife. You can't just come by and scoop up my girl because she has certain standards. She has certain rules. She has certain requirements. And most men do not qualify. Women should have a gold digger mentality because when it comes down to it, we live in America. If you looked at America and realized that there is still a wage gap, men still are paid more than women. Men are still able to go in the same career as a woman and still make more money than you. Then why not sit back, twiddle your thumbs, and allow a man to go out here and make more money because he's going to do that anyway? Yes, we do have certain certain factions that are out here fighting the good fight, and that's more power to them. Y'all know up here on this page, I'm never really against feminists. I don't have that feminist rhetoric because I'm glad there's women who want to take on that armor and who want to go out here and fight the good fight. I will just be the woman who's going to actually, give money to your fight, give money to your charity, give money to the thing you're trying to achieve versus me being on the front lines. Uh, Gold diggers have their own standards, their own rules, their own requirements, and the things that they stand for may be different. We're not all alike. Women should be mentally gold diggers, not just for yourself. Um, Maybe you don't want any kids. Maybe you're not concerned about children because you don't have any plans on having any. Maybe you're not concerned about your bloodline because you're not willing, or you're not concerned or don't want to have any. That's not your bag. That's not the thing you want to do for yourself. Okay, but women should still have that mentality of being a gold digger, because either the women that's going to come after you are going to love you, or they're going to hate you. Why? The ones that's going to love you, they're going to think about the sacrifices that you did in order to make sure that you create this foundation for them to be able to live upon, eat off of, or they're going to hate you because you put them and set them up in a situation where they got to get it out the mud. So either you're the people after you, the generation that you're going to create, either they're going to love you or they're going to hate you. Women should have a mentality of a gold digger, because when you are a gold digger, you tend to think of your blood. You tend to think of what's going to happen for my daughters or for my sons, or just from the family that I create. Women should mentally be gold diggers, because the women that are moving in a manner of just love, more power to you. I don't have any hate in my heart towards you, but I am not willing to take that risk on love. And not all of us are. Not all of us are willing to take that risk on love. I want the children of my children's, the grandchildren of my grandchildren to love me. I want them to think about the foundation that I've created, and think about the food that they're going to be eat from years and now, because the things that we're creating now, my children will benefit from them. My grandchildren will benefit from them. My great grandchildren will benefit from them. And this is the reason why women need that mentality of the gold digger. You need that mentality of gold digger, where you're not just out here, banking on love. Love is a wonderful thing. I truly do believe you can have money and love. I am not against that either. I have it. So I would never ever deter a woman from being able to get something I already obtained myself. I've been married for 21 years. So I have it myself, but you can have it, but you don't get it. You don't get the love before the resources. And that is the issues. Women, you don't understand. You don't get the love before the resources. A lot of us are trying to do it backwards. And that's the reason why we tend to fall flat on our face. We tend to we come out of the relationship a little bit more damaged, a little bit more hurt, a little bit more disillusioned from relationships, because we've done it backwards. Usually when a relationship happens, the way to love is not the way that you've been taught. That is the misinformation. That is the reason why women are not being as successful as they could be. Because the way you were taught is that you look across the way and he looks at you, you look at him. Ooh, kissy, kissy, y'all fall in love. Nothing but hearts, nothing but love, nothing but sunshine, nothing but everything. And then real life sets in, and the bills come, the mortgage comes, the insurance bills come, all of the bills come in, and all of that pressure from not having enough or living in lack begins to degrade the relationship. Because the number one things that end a relationship, that ends a marriage, is finances. It is not because Tommy cheated. It is not because someone stepped out. It is not because someone's getting their behind beat. It is not because someone was disrespectful. It is because finances were not in order, and that is what tears apart a relationship, tears apart a marriage, tears apart a family. And as long as you all continue to take that path, you're always going to have, I'm not going to say always, because I hate to generalize and say it's always going to happen, because you may be that lucky person that hits the jackpot and you fell in love, and then y'all were able to get through that storm of lack and financial insecurity, and y'all made it. Y'all are on the other side of that. Blessings to you. God bless you. But guess what? The rest of other people are drowning. Other people aren't making it. Other people aren't getting to the other side. And this is the reason why I say it's time to try it a different way. The definition of insanity is to continue to do the same thing over and over and over expecting to get a different response, a different reaction. It's not going to happen. Finances has been taught and been told to us over and over and over. That's the very reason why marriages end. Then why aren't we trying it a different way? Why aren't we deciding, okay, we're going to get with someone who is competent, who is ambitious, who's a go-getter, who has resources, who share the same values that I have, who have the same morals that I have, who lives by a life of rules. Let me get with him and let us make something happen. Let us pop out a couple kids. Let us get it all together. And don't you watch that love grows. Love grows. You just don't fall in it. It just doesn't happen. It grows. And it grows over time. Once you're in your role and y'all are both in that relationship doing what is required of the relationship and you're in a safe space, which means when I say safe space, I mean you have a roof over your head. Your bills are paid. Your stomach is, get a little thick, getting a little fat, but your stomach is full. You're not starving. And once that happens and you're in that safe space, then you have time for love. Before that, you don't got time for love. You don't have the time, the space, or the energy. And that is the reason why women they're not happy in these relationships. They're not content in these relationships. This is the reason why you see so many videos of women being married, and you see they have all the things, right? They have all of the things. And you're like, and they're still complaining. They're still complaining. They're still unhappy. Why? Because it's that missing factor of safety, security, of the roles being in the relationship. The thing is about having that gold digger mentality, we believe in gender roles. We believe in him being a man and being activated in that role. We believe in us being women and we're activated in that role. So there isn't really much fighting or power struggle. We're not constantly at each other because I know what I'm supposed to do and he knows what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to go out and work, make money, bring it home. I'm supposed to take care of the home. And since the roles are there and they're active in the relationship, there is no power struggle. I don't have any reason to constantly go back and forth with my husband or to tell him he should be doing this and I should be doing that. You know why? Because I'm a gold digger. I have a gold digger mentality. I believe in gender roles and I'm activated in that role and I do those things required of me. So there's no power struggle. Women who are mentally gold diggers and should be gold diggers are not stressed. They're not stressed. They are able to rest. They're able to be girly. They're able to take time with themselves. They're able to check their energy. They're able to change things around if needed. I'm not stressed. And let me give you all some, I love little bits of fun facts, right? Do you know stress leads to cortisol? Cortisol leads to a bigger belly, a thicker waist, and wrinkles. I don't do wrinkles. I don't believe in wrinkles. I'm a whole lot older than a lot of you all think, but I don't do any wrinkles. That's because I have a gold digger mentality. I've always had a gold digger mentality. I married the man who is ambitious, who's a go-getter, who is a man who wants to make sure he has power in his life, and a man who had resources. And doing that, love grew over time. Now we're deeply in love with each other. We're obsessed with each other. We're committed to each other. And we've been married for 21 years. But I think it always starts with having that gold digger mentality. It is important that women go back to our roots. Back in the day, in our past, the gold diggers of the past, they would, I can't forget this. The gold diggers of the past literally married to get out of the struggle. They literally married to make sure they were a part of the struggle culture. Because when there was a really big push, a surge of gold diggery, it was around the Depression. So they got married to evade, to escape the struggle. And they took it upon themselves to become the newest feminists. Of course, they did not co-sign the extremeness of feminism that is today. They don't co-sign that. They never co-signed that. That is one of the reasons why they start pulling back. They start pulling back from that. But it's important that we realize that the gold diggers of yesterday, the gold diggers of past, they had time. They were able to give to charity. They were able to decide how they spent their time. They were able to empower women. They were able to whisper into the big wigs of society and say, hey, guess what? You might need to open up positions for women. Do y'all realize that it was a gold digger that gave women opportunity to be in certain jobs in certain fields that they would never been able to get into? That is what gold diggery did for women back then. So we need to take our power back and our mentality back for gold diggers and start pushing this mentality. We need to get away from where Hollywood vilified us and they made us into con artists and thieves and just trifling individuals. We need to take back our image and push it forward. And they need to realize there's a different type. There's a different prototype. There's a different type of woman walking among us. There's a different type of gold diggery among us. There's a different type of gold diggery where it is values, it is morals, it is traditionalism, it's conservatism. These things are here. We can no longer, and we have to stop vilifying each other. Like, this is the reason why I don't vilify the feminists of today, because they just lost their way. They've just lost their way. And even the thing is, the funny thing about even the ones of today, the extremeness of it, guess what? They still want what we want. Okay. And see, I'm all about opening up that bridge for conversation and communication, because they still want what we want. That is what we can connect on. And that is what we can, we need to connect with each other on that and realize that we're not against each other. We need to be helping each other. Just because you want one thing, you want to go down this path, or you want to fight, you want to be a leader, you want to duke it out, you like a little tussle. Yeah, some of y'all like a little tussle. See, I don't like a little tussle. See, but I pay you. I pay you to let you continue to tussle. I pay you to continue to fight. I pay you to continue to march. I pay you to continue with the empowerment and the empowerment and pushing of women of the day. I pay you to get out there and do that. I just don't like any of that. I don't like any of that. See, I have a gold diggery mindset. I'm all about empowering women. I'm all about making sure you have the funds to do what you do, to making sure you have the funds to be able to go out here and continue to march. Get those right, sis. I'm with you. I got my checkbook available, and that's what we need. And that's one of the reasons we need women to continue with that gold diggery mindset, that gold digger mindset, because the women who can fund it, oh, baby, we need you. We need you on the team. We need you to be able to fund empowerment. We need you to be able to fund the women who are fighting for justice. We need you to be able to fund the women who need a little bit of money on their books so they can complete that education, so they can continue to fight the good fight. We need you out there. And so we need women who have that gold digger mentality, who want to sit here. They may not want to be on the front lines, but they don't mind opening their checkbook. They don't mind making sure that you can get it done. We still need women with a gold digger mentality. We need women who think about their bloodline, who think about their families, who think about the foundation that they're creating. Like I said, either you're the generation after you, they're either going to love you or they're going to hate you. We need women who think about, how are your children going to be raised? How are they going to be living? Are they going to be hungry? Are they going to have a roof over their head? Are they going to be able to go to the school of their choice? Are they going to be able to go to great schools? Are they going to be limited in choice because the money is limited too? This is what we have to actually have. A gold digger mentality is very important. And we need to take back our image. Our image can no longer be of that little woman that's sitting with her grubby hands, ready to destroy a whole family for some money. Like, let me tell you this. I have rules. I have standards. I have requirements. There's certain things that you will not be able to do with me or for me because I have these standards and I have rules. So the whole image of the gold digger just wanted to get to the finances and she just going to destroy them and bring down the empire, baby. I am not that. I am not that. We need more women that want to develop or inform or advise other women that they need to develop a gold digger mentality. All right, so let's see what everybody is saying. Hey, Roxy B. Hi, baby. How are you doing? Girl, I just adore you. Hugs for your work. Thank you. Hello, Pedeswara. That's what they're doing today. Social media is a devil. In South Africa, we have a saying that love on an empty stomach is sickening. Like, I don't understand how women are doing it today. How can you ever really be sitting here fixing your lips to think you're going to be sitting here searching for love? How can you search for love when you're hungry? How can you search for love when you ain't got a roof over your head? How can you search for love when your bills ain't paid? And doing it in that manner is leading us to disaster. It's leading women to disaster. Like I said before in the previous live stream, women are going to take the fall if the relationship ends. They're going to take the fall if the relationship isn't great. They're going to be the bad guy in the first place in the relationship. So why in the world would women not go into a relationship where you're going to get the best outcome? You're going to get the best outcome for the relationship when you all have resources, when you have support, when you have all the things that you need. You cannot possibly be able to get the things you need out of a relationship when you're in lack, when you're literally thinking about how I'm going to pay this bill next week or what I'm going to eat because we can't afford to put food on the table. That is one of the things that I had conversations with myself when I was dating out here. When I was out here like you ladies and I wasn't a married woman, I started really thinking about, did I really want my children to endure some of the things I had to endure growing up? Did I truly want my children to grow up in a house where the dirt was on the floor, where I could literally play with the kittens that was there resting? Did I want my children to grow up that in that manner? Or did I want my children to have access to great education, food, a lifestyle, literally be able to have trust funds? Did I want my children to have that, or did I want them to get it out of the mud? And I had asked myself, and I knew with my personality and my gold digger mentality, there was no way that I could actually latch on to love a man and give him my support and encourage him and be his muse and do all of these extra things. And I'm hungry at the end of the day. I'm starving at the end of the day. I'm in lack at the end of the day. I knew I couldn't do it. It wasn't a part of my personality or my program. And I'm saying that we need to actually encourage, advise, and inspire women to start having a gold digger mentality, to realize it is not what they portray you as. When I talk to women, most women that have that gold digger mentality, baby, they got standards, they got rules, they got values, they got certain things they require. They're vetting. They're literally using a vetting strategy in order to vet this man to make sure he's going to be a good horse to bet on. They're not just jumping in because this man got money. Just because his pockets is fat don't mean he deserves a gold digger in his life. That is not it. See, and that is what they wanted you to have, that mentality. It's a conspiracy when it comes down to it. If you actually think about it, y'all, and I love thinking about stuff like this. I don't know why I'm like this, but I'm like this. And y'all get the pleasure of being around someone who's like this. But it's a conspiracy. When you go back and really look into your history and dig deep into the gold digger lifestyle and where it started and how it began, you realize it began, first of all, Hollywood pumped it up. They pumped up the gold digger lifestyle. They pumped up gold diggers, and it was a thing. It was in. It gave gold diggers a voice. It gave them the ability to empower women, to push women's agendas. And then the feminist was born. And since the feminists were born, and after the 1930s, they realized, oh my gosh, men started really panicking and started getting upset by what was happening in their households. So guess what happened? Social media. Media came to play. Well, at that time, we don't really know social media, but it was media. It was video. So videos came out, and then they started vilifying the gold digger. At one point, the gold digger started out up here, right? Then in the 1930s, they started seeing they gave the gold diggers too much of a voice. She started speaking and pushing and empowering women and giving them, like I said, from the gold digger, the feminists were born. And if you're a feminist, guess where you came from? People like me. All right. So the feminist was born. And in the 1930s, they kept seeing their household was starting to get disrupted. And they decided, okay, we have to start vilifying gold diggers. We have to start taking their voice away because of the fact we don't want them to have so much power that they have. They're empowering women. Women are starting to think about what they can do outside of the home. Basically, it was too little, too late kind of ideals, because they started vilifying them. And they started making it seem as though the gold digger was a horrible woman. She was a con artist. She's a villain. She's going to steal all your money and go. And it worked. And it worked. Because now if you were to look on social media, you would even see grown women that will do everything they can to make sure a man doesn't think that she's a gold digger. She'll do everything she can to make sure that he knows that she doesn't want just his resources. And I'm telling you all, we have to stop with the shenanigans. We can no longer afford the time, the space, and the energy to continue to do that. We can no longer afford for a man to think that he's getting us for free. We can no longer allow that. Now, I'm not saying to be a gold digger to go to the highest mountain in the world and start shouting it out and screaming it out. You know what? I always believe that it's better for people to learn about you than to know about you. So it's better for him to learn over time and to see by the way you live, the way you talk, and who you spend your time with. He'll know that you come with the price tag. I don't have to announce I am what I am. I don't have to announce that I have that gold digger mentality. Men knew, his family knew, everybody knew that was around me. But they also knew that I'm also inaccessible to most men. And that's what happens when you're dealing with a woman who has a gold digger mentality. Men that watch my page, it is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. You want to sit here and if you got her and she was attracted to you, that gold digger came closer and closer and closer. You were able to give her your last name. You can't rest on your laurels, but you have a sense of security because of the fact that she's inaccessible. Unless there has to be a better, badder man that comes along. And then that man also has to be able to align with her values, her morals, and the rules that she has in her life. Do you know how rare that is? So when I decide to say I do to you, baby, you may be even more inaccessible to others. Because I know, and I'm very aware that yes, I might get another of you with the bag that you have, the resources you have, but it is rare and rare to getting men who has values and morals, who lives by rules. So you make me more inaccessible by marrying me. And this is the reason why I'm going to tell you this, my statement that always pisses women off. I don't know why. Gold diggers make better wives. They do. Because they're going to live by certain standards and rules and requirements that a lot of women they don't have anymore. Like this society and generation is so willy-nilly that they don't have rules. Everybody can do anything at any time. Anybody can say, do whatever, try this or that. There's no rules. There's no regulations. And that is not gold diggery. Gold diggery has rules, regulations, requirements, standards that you have to meet. And every woman has different ones. All right, Braille, from a gold digger mentality, what are the things that we need to look in a man to secure that he is financially stable? Everything. When you are vetting, you need to make sure that he has resources. Verify everything. I literally wrote down my own vetting strategy for myself that got me to having at least 3 proposals before I chose my husband. So I put that vetting strategy in the book. It is called No Pretty Dummies. Go get the book. It will help you to identify providers and vet them. Would you consider a stay-at-home mom and her husband that works, but they're on Section 8 as traditional gender roles? I think the husband is not motivated and refuses to do better for his family. Thoughts? Would you consider stay-at-home mom that works, but they're on stay-at-home? Okay. Traditional, that sounds like that's traditional. That sounds like as long as both of them are in their traditional roles, then that does. But this is where there's some pushback here. I'm going to say this. If a man is moved in and he's still on Section 8, where is his pride? Where is his pride? Where is his gumption? Where is his ambition? I would think that's temporary. I would have to know more information before I give my total thoughts on that. But I would definitely think about the pride, because I would say that is still traditional. She's a stay-at-home mom. He is working, but I would still question the Section 8. How long has that been going on? Is there a plan to get out of that? Is there some ambition, some go-getter? Because you, as a gold digger and woman who's invested in gold diggery, you have to have some standards of what that looks like for you. And honestly, it is not my job up here to tell women what that standard is. Every woman needs to determine what your gold diggery looks like. What does that mentality for you looks like? I would say she's still not violating traditional rules or anything of that nature. She's going along with it. And gender roles, as long as she is being a woman and he is being a man, then it's A-okay. Those gender roles are being completed. What's your take on monthly allowance for suitors while getting to know you? A provider is a provider. A man who is a provider, who's used to giving provisions, who is a man who is gonna make sure he takes care of his family, those things start early. He doesn't start later on after you get married to provide. He starts providing while you're dating, once you're the fiance, and then once you're the wife. This means if you ask him for something, or I don't like the word ask, because I don't ask for anything. I suggest. So if you suggest that you need something, require something, then it should be here. That's where it should be at. Okay. Or bank account, Cash App, Zelle, any of those areas or wherever, those are perfect. But a provider provides. He gives provision. That is something he naturally does. He's going to do that while he's dating. He's going to do that when you're a fiance, and he's going to do that once you're a wife. Those things start early. And I have no problem with monthly allowances. I've been getting one a very long time. I always suggest that you become a part of that budget. When this man is deciding that he wants to be or commit to you, you should immediately start becoming a part of that budget. This means that there's a certain amount that comes to you. I am not one of those women. I have an understanding of the real world and how we operate in that world. And I realize that women should have an allowance. You should be a part of the budget. If you're going to decide to be traditional and be in your role as a woman and be a stay-at-home mother, you should make sure you have funds of your own to make sure that you can take care of your hair, your maintenance, and also have money to invest. Have money to invest so you can become wealthy off of his back. Every dollar that my husband has made over the years, I've become wealthy also. So I believe in monthly allowances. Brill, there are multiple financially stable men, but some have the 50-50 mentality. Please provide examples of a man who will be provided as a potential husband. Examples of a man? What do you mean? If you go and test your man and you say something simple as, hey, I am over here with a flat tire, and your man doesn't come running, he doesn't have it in him. A man who is a provider is not only a provider of resources, he's a provider of things. He's a provider of emotional support. He's a provider in making sure you have the things that you desire. So you start testing immediately once you get in that relationship to see if this man is going to be a provider. Like I said, even when you look at a provider, he normally is a person who is helpful to his family members. He's an asset to his family and to his circle of friends. A provider is a provider. He's a person who loves to generously give. This means he has his mom, his family members, his friends. They can depend on him. They can call him and get assistance. You can see that early on. If he's a man who doesn't want to do anything for his family members, his friends, or his circle, then you already know he has a problem with generosity. And we don't gold digger mentality. We don't deal with men who don't have generosity in their spirit. If you don't have generosity in your spirit, we don't move towards that direction. We move away, we move around. Y'all make stuff difficult. You really do. You don't really need examples of my husband. Because my first date was a shopping trip. He took me out to dinner. I think he could tell that I really wasn't impressed because it's food. I can feed myself. When he met me, I literally was taking care of my own self. I had my own apartment, my own car, my own money. So you taking me to dinner, sir, is the bare minimum. You taking me to get food in this belly, well, this belly is expanding, that's the bare minimum. You have to do more to impress a woman who has a gold digger mentality. See, our standards are not here, they're here. Like, they're here. They're taller than I am, okay? Your standards should be way up here. Y'all, your standards should be high. Gold diggers do not have low standards. Some things that you see as just, if you're impressed by that, the gold digger mentality would say, pump your brakes. It would tell you, okay, your standards aren't high enough. See, he took me out to eat on my first date. Then what perked me up and made me realize that he could stay in a rotation is he took me out shopping. And there was no limit. There was no limit. So I went shopping on my very first trip. My very first date, My first outing with my husband, I went on a shopping trip. I went on a shopping spree. I impressed him by running up the numbers. That is what I did. And when I looked and I realized, because to me it was a twofold. I went shopping. I love to shop, and I ran up the numbers. And he didn't say boo. He didn't say boo. He's like, "Is that all?" My kind of man. My kind of man. Gold diggery has a mentality, and our standards are not the average. The average is going out to eat. The average is walking in the park. The average is getting coffee. The average. The superb standards, being flown to your date. The superb standards, being taken shopping and having no limit. Superb standards, raise your standards. Raise your gold diggery level. Your mentality needs to match. Do not have he can just do something nice for me and you're good with that. Gold digger requires a higher standard, a higher level of thinking. Honestly, and you're going to continue with that thought process. Trust and believe. I still put him through the paces. I have a gold diggery mindset, a gold digger mentality. I still put him through the paces to make sure that he doesn't forget. Never forget. Walk in power. Always. How we communicate to men without words that we are coming with a price tag and they're not getting us for free. Baby, you do that by being the better version of yourself. That's how you do that. You do that by making sure you do not interact, have a conversation, communicate with people who are not like-minded. You do that by correcting your circle. You do that by the way you carry yourself. You do that by even your speech. You do that by how what type of conversation you have. You do that by the way you dress. You do that by the way you look. You do that by how you take care of yourself. You can say 1,000 things without saying anything. When I walk in, I'm saying something without saying anything. I'm walking in, by the way I introduce myself, by the way I speak, by the way I walk, by the way I'm dressed, by the way I carry myself, by the way the etiquette that I display. All these things say class, elegance, high maintenance. You can say all of that without saying anything. So you don't have to constantly scream on the loudest mountain, on the top of a mountain, that you are high maintenance. A lot of time what I found is women who constantly talk about their high maintenance, that they require a lot, their standards are basting in hell. That is normally what I found out. Usually when a woman says she's high maintenance, she really isn't, because you're going to see and tell that I'm high maintenance. You're going to tell by the way that I refuse to wear a clock because I don't have anywhere to be. I refuse to be held down by a schedule. I refuse to change my schedule based on you. I am high maintenance. I exude high maintenance. I exude that energy by the way I carry myself, the way I interact, the way I communicate, the places and people that I be around. You can exude it without saying it. The people who say they're high maintenance, they require a lot for a man to get them, they're the very ones on social media bragging about a bag, bragging about a bag, bragging about some shoes, bragging about a 5-star meal. Baby, you can feed yourself. You can buy those shoes. Put yourself in a position where the generation after you love you and they don't hate you. Where was the book called and where is it? Okay, hold on a second. Let me find the book. Y'all give me a second. I'm going to find this book for her because I think y'all think I'll be playing. I'll be playing when it comes to information. I don't play when it comes to information. When it's something I really believe that women need to know about, I don't play about it. I think it's on this phone. I'm gonna have to pull it up on this phone because I decided I wanted to purchase it. When I found it, I was like, let me go ahead and purchase it. So I might have to pull it on this phone. I might have to actually drop it after the live stream, but I will drop the book. There is an entire book that talks about gold diggers and what happened. The gold diggers of the past, they are the feminists of today, and it talks about why too. And I just bought it and just started it, but I have to actually go back through. It's on my phone here, so I will definitely drop it after this live stream. If you're interested in that book, wait till after I end this live stream, and I'm gonna drop it in the description box of the video, and it'll talk about it. It will be the book, okay? The book is currently unavailable on Amazon in Europe. Is the book available in a different format elsewhere? I recently went. I have a format of it. Well, wait till the end of the live stream, and I'll make sure I drop the link for the book. I recently went on a date where the man took me shopping after the date. Best date ever is knowing you're with the man that can take care of business. Let me tell y'all something else. And this is the reason why men need to change their attitudes on gold diggering. But that's none of my business either. That's not my bag either. I'm not going to sit up here and persuade men to do anything. But they need to change their mentality on that. Because let me tell you this. Gold diggers don't have, they normally don't have sexual issues within their relationship. Boom. Boop. Boop. Let me explain. Let me go ahead and tell y'all a little story today. This morning. Let me tell you something that happened to me just this morning. All right, this morning, my husband came and we usually have a conversation while he's getting dressed, and I'm always dressed before him. I look like this always, normally before he gets up, right? But I was sitting there listening to him. He was telling me that my son had an issue with a manager at his job. I'm not going to tell you where. I'm not going to tell you the name of the job because it really don't matter at this point. And my husband was like, well, I was just telling him what he needs to do and how he needs to handle the situation and how he needs to interact with that manager since he's having a problem with that manager. He said, then he told me, he said, you know what? I was 2 seconds away from making a phone call and that manager lose his job. And I said, babe, why would you do that? And he was like, I was going to do that. He said, and he was telling me who that manager was and the connection my husband has. He could have picked up the phone and that man would have lost his job. I say that man's job today. I did a good thing. Gold diggery mentality, baby. I say that man's job because my husband did have the reach to make sure that man was unemployed. But I was like, nah, babe, he just made a mistake. Let him work. Let our son work it out. He'll be okay. It's going to be okay. But I was like, of course, do what you feel, but, don't take it there unless you see, maybe you shouldn't take it there yet because of the fact that man has a family. Because my husband knows him. He could have just picked up the phone and he would have been jobless just that quick. And just with him saying that, talking about protecting our son, make sure our son has the tools that he needs. My ovaries perked up. My ovaries like, how old are we? Like, baby, no. We can't. I'm too old to start over. I'm too old to start over. I can't do it. I can't stun on them again. And I had to tell them, down, girls, down, girls. You got to get down because you done gave them already 3 children. You don't need to give them no more. We're too old to start over. We about to be empty nesters. And I was like, but the thing is, gold digger energy, gold diggery. You don't have a problem when you're next to power, a go-getter, an ambitious man, a man that's willing to do what it takes to protect your family, baby. Your ovaries stand up and they pay attention. You don't have a problem in that area because of the fact that he's willing to do what it needs to take to make sure that we're good. And that, ladies, that gentleman is the reason why women need to have that go-digger mentality. It gives you that time, that space, and the energy to even have attraction. Like you can be attracted to the person you're in a relationship with because everything is good. Everything is copacetic. Everything is on the up and up. You don't have no worries of where my next meal coming from. You don't have no worries of how we're going to pay this bill. When you're in that time and space and energy, your ovaries will stay perked. They stay ready. They stay ready to get it. And, that is a different type of energy than you see with other relationships. A lot of relationships that are not in the manner of me and my husband's, they are struggling in this area. They're struggling with time. They're struggling with being attracted to each other. They're struggling with spending time together. We don't have that problem. This is the reason why we need to take back our image as gold diggers. We need to take back and start inspiring and informing and advising young women that they need to have a gold digger mentality, because we don't have problems in that area. No, baby. No, not none whatsoever. None whatsoever. And that comes with just being near a man who has the energy, the time, and ambition, and the ability to be able to pick up that phone call. To me, that's attractive. Isn't that sexy to y'all? Oh, am I alone? Am I alone? Am I alone? Am I the only woman that makes her ovaries perk up when she knows that there's power next to her? Oh, I guess so. I guess I'm the only one. I'm the only one. Oh well. Oh well. But I'm not starting over, y'all. They don't nobody get excited. I'm not having any more babies. We done with that. But I don't mind practicing. I don't mind practicing for them. Or maybe I shouldn't say practicing, because we ain't practicing for nothing. Oh, I don't mind having fun and pretending like they're gonna be some. I love being a kept woman. Yes, ma'am. He said he would fly me to see him, but how can I suggest for him to get me a room so I don't stay at his house? That is something that you can not just suggest. You can kind of be kind of direct on that one. You can kind of be direct on that and be like, well, look, we're not in the situation. We're not ready yet for that next step. So I definitely need a room by myself. I would be a whole lot more comfortable. And I know you want me comfortable, right? That is all you have to say. You can be direct with that. You don't have to beat around the bush. Some things we don't beat around the bush. I would always say suggesting like money or gifts. That is my tactic. But of course, all of us have different tactics on how we do things. Remember, I don't set the rules on how this is done. I just know we need to do a better job of making sure that the women that surround us, that they are informed. Like they know what it's going to be when we make a choice to go down that path. Like I said, I'm not going to vilify the women who go and say, hey, I just want love. I just want somebody to care about me. I just want love. I'm not going to vilify you. I truly do believe that normally what happens is that once you go down that path, you get your little heart broken, then you come back and you see me. Then we start working on that gold digger mentality. Then we start leveling up. Then we start doing what it takes to get what we require in this life. Then we start living our desires and our dreams. But hey, some of us have to go down that path. Some of us have to actually take a detour. But others, we are developing that gold digger mentality, that mindset, because we recognize what it is. We recognize what we want. Girl, thank you for sharing the experience of yours with us. That was very powerful. No, you're not alone. I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be. If it is not attractive for a man to only be able to pick up a phone and get someone fired because of the fact he mistreated my child, then baby, I'm all on. I'm all on board. My ovaries will perk up. They might start manufacturing some more ovaries so we can actually get this baby making thing started again. But my mindset is saying, no, girl, hold your horses. We can't have no more chilling. No more chilling over here. No more chilling. Can't have them. We can't have no more chilling over here. That means I will have to stop traveling and doing the things I do. So no, 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 no. No, you're not alone. Safety first. Always have your own money with you in case. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, like I said before, the gold digger mentality, the new gold diggers, the women of the day, I would never ever suggest that you put yourself in a position where you don't have access to your own funds. I do it out of love. I don't really do, I don't have the money that I have because I am fearful of anything. I literally make sure that I have money because I love having money. I grew up poor. I grew up looking at a dirt floor. So I love having money. That is a thing for me. And I never want to ever encourage anyone to do anything. We don't do anything over here by fear. I don't do anything based on fear because fear will blind you and fear will make you make mistakes. So I don't do anything based on fear. But you should always have your own funds and do it out of the love of yourself versus fear of someone doing something to you. That is the kicker. You increase your funds by doing it out of love for self. Because I love me more, I have money. I have access to money. I am going to be a millionaire at the same time he will be, because I made my funds off his back. I didn't work hard for it. I didn't strain for it. I might did a little some things, some strange things for it, but those were fun. But I did not get it out of the mud for my money or my funds. And I suggest we start doing it the easy way, the stress-free way, the way where it's not thickening our waist and putting stress on our face. We need to start doing it in an easy way. You were literally born as a woman. You were given ultimate power to obtain your desires and get the things you want out of life. But you're moving or walking or starting a journey that's not going to allow you to do those things. And I say, baby, use what you got. Use what you got. Use what you got. Change your mentality. Stop looking at being a gold digger a bad thing. Evolutionary psychology literally aligns us with that mentality. It literally says that women were happier when they were doing that. When they were marrying men that had resources and were able to give them support, they were happier in their marriages. Women were happier when men were providing and bringing provisions and having resources. But women want to go down this path. Like I said before, the original feminists were gold diggers. So they created the quandrum that we're in. Isn't that interesting? That's the reason I'm going to drop the book, dog, y'all. I'm not going to forget, even though it's about time for me to go to lunch. My lunch buddies are literally walking around saying, hey, we going to eat. Don't worry, I got this. Y'all know I intermittent fast. I don't eat at 2 o'clock. All right. We're going to take, how about you, Princess? Hi. Let me go ahead and let you in I'll let you in. Let me see. If you want to get into my live stream, you can. Why not? Y'all, it's slow over here. I might need to move again because I do my live streams in a room that has a hard problem with internet. But this is the biggest room. I literally have my husband created a studio downstairs for me. And this has the most space for the equipment. I hate to go upstairs because then it'll have an echo. So I have a quandary. What am I do here? Because I really do want to be able to do my internet. Sorry, I didn't mean to request. Oh, okay, it's all right, babe. But we need to contact. We need to connect. Don't forget. I remember you mentioned that you lived in Germany before. Did you experience a difference in how we operate here in terms of generosity? I was a kid when I was in Germany. I wasn't an adult. So I don't know how men operated in Germany. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have an answer for that one. Love you too. I miss you too. We definitely need to connect. All right, but I don't have anything else, but we do need to start a new movement and change the way we look at gold diggery, that gold digger mentality. Because even when I have conversations with women, y'all are quick to say, I'm not a gold digger though. I don't want just his money. Babe, I know you think you're in love with him. You're not. I know you think the sun and the moon and everything sets on him. It doesn't. You need to seek out resources and support. Then you have time, space, and energy for love. That comes after, never before. And that is all that I have on today. You all have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Oh, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. See, didn't forget. Bye-bye. Have a good one.